uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to Country and Western Tuesday. It is Tuesday again. It is Tuesday already. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question for this week: if a fool would persist in his follies, if a fool would persist in his folly, he would become wise. What does this mean? If a fool persists in his folly, he would become wise. What does this mean? That's my biblical question for this week. We're streaming on Odyssey, odyssee.com/@Jesse Lee Peterson. Odyssey. Good morning, Odyssey. And good morning to Cozy. Cozy.tv/JLP. We're streaming there as well. You can listen on the listen line at TalkStream Live. If you're out and about, wherever in this world, 717-567-4971. 717-567-4971. Amazing, right? I think that I just don't know what's going to happen with the world. It's crazy what's happening in our country today. And when I really, really think about it, I kind of reflect on it. And I look at the government and I see we the people in the government. The government is no different than the people. We are the government. Whatever we are is what the government is. It's just that the government is on big screen, and you can see it happening, but you don't see it within yourself. That's mind-blowing to me. It's the same identical thing. For example, the government will not shut down the borders between Mexico and the U.S., right? Will not, refusing to do it. But instead, they go out and do it for Ukraine, help Ukraine and other parts of the world, but not at home. That's the same thing that happens to families. It's the same identical thing. Husbands and wives break up, and the husband go and take care of someone else's family. Or the wife go and live with someone else's family, take care of their children, not her own. In the government, it's just a battle for power between the Democrats and Republicans. They don't care about the people. It's personal, perceived power and wealth that they want for themselves. Same thing with people, rest of the people. It's a struggle or a fight for personal power and wealth. Think about it. What stays on your mind? What you're going to wear, what you're going to eat, where you're going to work, what you're going to this and that. It's all about you. The government is no different. It's all about power, positions. But they pretend it's about getting these positions to help the country, and it's not. It's all ego. It's all the same thing. Just imagine we have a government in the United States of America that is refusing to shut the borders down, and there are thousands of illegals underway, not to mention those that are here already. And as I move forward this morning, I'm going to play you a soundbite where they're telling you, you know what? Don't worry about it. There's nothing we can do. Nothing going to be done about it. Nothing we can do. We're not going to put the military on the borders. We're not going to put a wall up. Matter of fact, we're going to tear down the laws that would prevent them from coming. But there's nothing we can do. So shut up and take it. And people go, oh, okay. Otherwise, you are a racist. Well, I don't want to be a racist. It's mind-blowing to see it. And if you have fear, it feels helpless almost. This is from Fox. Estimated border crossers are at 18,000 a day, or over 500,000 a month. Think about that. Over 18,000 people coming into our country a day, and we have no idea who they are and where they're coming from. We just know they're coming from around the world now, not just Mexico. They don't care. They really just don't care. And they know there's nothing you can or will do about it. They know the Republicans are not going to do anything. Republicans want the same thing. Be not deceived. The representatives of the Republican Party want the same thing the Democrats want, a perceived fake power and wealth. And so they want cheap labor, and they want these people here. They want them here. Why do you think the Republicans are no different than the Democrats in putting women in power, in this fake position of power, false perceived position of power? Because they know that the women are going to help destroy. They know that. They know the weak nature of the woman will bring on destruction. That's why they did it to the blacks in their homes during the so-called civil rights movement. They knew if they took the men out, replaced them with the black women, that it would be nothing but destruction. Stroke her ego, you got her. She'll come up out of hell and destroy because you stroked her ego. Look at this woman they put on the Supreme Court. I was reflecting on that. This woman is now on the U.S. Supreme Court, and there's nothing else to be done about it. Zero. I knew the Republican was going to allow it to happen because when you think about the Republican representatives, they have not done anything in the last 100 years. Nothing good for the country except when the Great White Hope was there, Donald Trump. Rhino Republicans are no different than the Democrats. So unless you go within and live from within, you're not going to make it, folks. You're afraid of life in your little small world. You're afraid of life in your little small world. And the reason you're afraid, you have not found God. But you're afraid of life in your little world. What do you think is going to happen in the big world where the government are running things? And you have not seen the crime and trouble to come. You have not seen it. You think it's bad now, and it is. It's truly bad. I thought it was bad when I first started Bond 32 years ago. It felt like a state of emergency then. Now those days look like apple pie and ice cream days compared to what's happening now. And it's only going to get worse out there in that world, but it doesn't have to be that way in your world within. It's up to you, each individual. It doesn't have to be that way in your world. You literally can live in this world and not be of it, but you must be born from it. You must return to the Father. It's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. The world itself. And the world is just people outside of you, inside of others. Outside of you, inside of others. So all this fighting you're carrying on, you're doing, is a waste of time. I would be still. I would recommend it. It's up to you. I would be still and know God.